discovered the explorer in you. Kotoba Camp.
Stalk.
Stalk.
To follow or observe someone persistently, often secretly. To pursue prey stealthily, the main stem of a plant.
跟踪，偷偷监视，悄悄追踪，茎梗。
Certain predators stalk their prey at night, using the darkness to remain undetected. Some birds stalk through tall grass to catch insects without being noticed.
In dense forests, large cats often stalk smaller animals before launching an attack.
I noticed a shadowy figure seemed to stalk us as we walked through the empty campus late at night.
The behavior of certain animals that stalk their prey can be compared to complex strategic planning.
Stalker.
Stalker.
That individual became a persistent stalker, showing up uninvited at every event. Stalking.
Stalking. Continuous stalking can have severe psychological impacts on the person being targeted.
Pursue, track, follow, shadow.
追踪，追踪，跟随，尾随。
Ignore, disregard, neglect, overlook.
忽视，无视，忽略，忽视。
Staple.
Staple.
A main or important element of something. A basic or necessary item. Main, principal, or most important.
主食，必需品，主要的，基本的。
Rice is a staple in many Asian diets, providing essential calories for millions of people daily. Wheat has long been a staple crop in various regions due to its adaptability to different climates.
In numerous cultures, bread serves as a staple food, often consumed at every meal.
I always keep staple ingredients like flour and sugar in my kitchen for quick baking needs.
Economic policies often focus on ensuring access to staple goods to maintain societal stability.
Stapler.
Stapler.
Using a stapler makes organizing documents much easier and more efficient. Stapling.
Stapling.
Stapling multiple pages together ensures that important reports remain intact during review.
Mainstay, essential, fundamental, core.
支柱，必须的，基本的，核心的。
Minor, secondary, trivial, insignificant.
次要的，次等的，琐碎的，不重要的。
Starch.
Starch.
A carbohydrate found in plants, used as food or to stiffen fabrics. To stiffen with starch.
淀粉，使变硬，使僵硬。
Potatoes are a rich source of starch, providing energy for many populations around the world. Corn is widely cultivated for its starch content, which is used in various food products.
Many traditional diets rely heavily on starch from grains like rice and wheat.
I noticed some old shirts need to be starched to maintain a crisp, professional look.
Incorporating starch into industrial processes can reduce dependency on synthetic materials.
starchy.
Starchy.
Foods like pasta and bread are considered starchy and provide sustained energy. Starchiness.
Starchiness. The starchiness of certain tubers makes them ideal for thickening soups and sauces.
Carbohydrate, amylose, stiffener, thickener.
碳水化合物、淀粉质、硬化剂、增稠剂。
Fat, protein, fiber, sugar.
脂肪、蛋白质、纤维、糖。
Stark.
Stark.
Severe or bare in appearance. Complete or extreme. Completely, utterly.
严峻的、赤裸的、完全的、极端的、完全的、彻底地。
The landscape after the wildfire was stark, with nothing but charred trees and ash remaining. The contrast between the lush forest and the stark desert was striking to all who crossed the boundary.
Economic disparities in the region are stark, with wealth and poverty existing side by side.
I was struck by the stark difference in living conditions between the two neighboring towns.
The data presents a stark reminder of the urgent need to address environmental degradation.
Starkly.
Starkly.
The two cultures differ starkly in their approach to family and community values. Starkness.
Starkness. The starkness of the empty room emphasized the absence of personal belongings.
Bare, harsh, severe, grim.
赤裸的、严酷的、严峻的、阴冷的。
Lush, mild, gentle, subtle.
郁郁葱葱的、温和的、柔和的、细微的。
Statue.
Statue.
A three-dimensional representation of a person or thing, typically made of stone, metal, or wood.
雕像、塑像。
The ancient city is renowned for a towering statue of a warrior carved from marble. A bronze statue in the town square commemorates the founder of the community.
The statue of a famous poet stands as a symbol of cultural heritage in the park.
I was amazed by the intricate details on the statue depicting historical events.
Public spaces often feature statues to honor significant figures from the past.
Statuary.
Statuary.
The museum's statuary includes works from ancient civilizations across the globe. Statuesque.
Statuesque. Her statuesque figure and poised demeanor made her stand out in the crowd.
Sculpture, effigy, figure, monument.
雕塑、肖像、形象、纪念碑。
Painting, drawing, sketch, illustration.
绘画、素描、草图、插图。
Steep.
Steep.
Rising or falling sharply. Having a high price or cost. To soak in liquid to extract flavor or soften.
陡峭的、急剧的、价格高昂的、浸泡、浸透。
The mountain trail was so steep that climbers needed ropes to ascend safely. The hillside was too steep for farming, so terraces were carved into the slope.
The sudden steep increase in housing costs has affected many families in the area.
I couldn't believe how steep the fees were for such a short training program.
A steep decline in biodiversity threatens the stability of this fragile ecosystem.
Steeply.
Steeply.
Prices for essential goods have risen steeply over the past few months. Steepness.
Steepness. The steepness of the cliff made it a popular spot for experienced rock climbers.
Sharp, abrupt, sheer, precipitous.
陡峭的、突然的、垂直的、险峻的。
Gentle, gradual, slight, moderate.
平缓的、逐渐的、轻微的、适度的。
Steer.
Steer.
To guide or control the movement of a vehicle, ship, or animal. To direct or influence a course of action. A young male cattle raised for beef.
引导、驾驶、影响、指导。年轻的肉用公牛。
The captain had to steer the ship carefully through the narrow and rocky channel. Farmers often steer their livestock toward greener pastures during dry seasons.
It's challenging to steer a conversation toward consensus in a diverse group.
I had to steer my bike around obstacles to avoid accidents on the busy path.
Effective leaders know how to steer their teams through periods of uncertainty.
Steering.
Steering.
The steering mechanism of the old car was stiff, making turns difficult. Steersman.
Steersman. The experienced steersman navigated the vessel through treacherous waters.
Guide, direct, navigate, pilot.
引导、指导、航行、驾驶。
Misguide, mislead, divert, wander.
误导、引错方向、转移、漫游。
Stew.
Stew.
To cook food slowly in liquid over low heat. To worry or be in a state of anxiety. A dish of meat and vegetables cooked slowly in liquid.
炖、慢煮、担忧、焦虑、炖菜、炖汤。
She decided to stew the beef with carrots and potatoes for a hearty winter meal. They let the ingredients stew for hours to bring out the rich flavors in the dish.
He tends to stew over small problems instead of addressing them directly.
I could smell the savory stew simmering on the stove as I entered the house.
Don't stew over the feedback. Use it as a chance to improve your work.
Stewed.
Stewed.
The stewed apples with cinnamon were a perfect dessert for the chilly evening. Stewing.
Stewing. Stewing the meat overnight made it incredibly tender and flavorful.
Simmer, braise, cook, fret.
慢煮、炖、烹饪、烦恼。
Grill, fry, bake, relax.
烤、炸、烘焙、放松。
Stiff.
Stiff.
not easily bent or flexible, rigid or formal in manner, difficult or challenging, to an extreme degree.
僵硬的、不灵活的、拘谨的、正式的、困难的、极度的。
The new boots were so stiff that they caused blisters on the first hike. The cardboard used for the model was too stiff to fold into intricate shapes.
His stiff posture during the meeting made him seem unapproachable to others.
I faced stiff competition when applying for the limited scholarship slots.
After sitting for hours, my neck felt stiff and ached with every movement.
Stiffly.
Stiffly?
She nodded stiffly, clearly uncomfortable with the formal setting of the event. Stiffness.
Stiffness.
The stiffness of the fabric made it unsuitable for creating flowing garments.
Rigid, inflexible, firm, tough.
僵硬的、不灵活的、坚硬的、艰难的。
Flexible, pliable, soft, easy.
灵活的、可弯曲的、柔软的、容易的。
Sting.
Sting.
To pierce or wound with a sharp point, often causing pain. To cause emotional pain or distress. A sharp pain or wound caused by a pointed object or insect. An act of stinging.
刺是引起痛苦或不适，刺痛、视伤、刺的行为。
The bee managed to sting me on the arm before flying away from the garden. A wasp can sting multiple times, unlike a honeybee which stings only once.
His harsh words seemed to sting more than any physical injury could have.
I felt a sharp sting on my foot after stepping on something hidden in the sand.
Her criticism might sting at first, but it often leads to valuable insights.
Stinging.
Stinging.
The stinging sensation from the nettle lasted for hours after I brushed against it. Stingy.
Stingy.
He's so stingy that he refused to contribute even a small amount to the cause.
Prick, bite, pierce, hurt.
刺、咬、穿透、伤害。
Soothe, comfort, heal, ease.
抚慰、安慰、治愈、缓解。
Well done! Take a break and remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's keep our learning motivation fresh.
Learning another language is like becoming another person.